Morning, Lewis.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How you guys doing today? We'll get started in a couple of minutes, guys.
Why did you give up on your dream? Why did you settle? Why? Why did you let that dream go? The dream that meant so much to you. Why did you let it go? Was it because you listened to those around you? Those who didn't reach their own dream? Did you listen to them when they imposed their limits on you? Extraordinary. Oh, when we put our minds to it, we can do extraordinary things. The human mind has a mindset that once it gets focused on the goal and buckles down and realizes what it wants to do, human beings can do extraordinary things.
But there are a lot of people who would have listened to that because they've already said no to themselves. See, it's time now. If you want to make this your decade, you've got to start saying yes to your life, yes to your potential. Don't worry about your circumstances. Don't worry about your age.
A very strange day is coming to America. In short, a massive and surprising new transition.
And so if you want to change anything about your life, stop sitting around and start pushing yourself.
You have got to make a declaration that this is what you stand for. You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. You want it. And you're going to go all out to have it. Think like a champion. Speak like a champion. And then walk it out. Grind 120 all day, every day. Stop making excuses.
Let that obsession, let that thing that you love completely consume you. And in that, your only chance to really become great lies. As Franz Kafka said, don't bend, don't water down, don't try to make it logical. Rather, follow your most intense obsessions mercilessly.
That is the source of confidence. It's the willingness to try. It doesn't start with belief. It starts with the push. So do yourself a freaking favor and stop thinking about all this stuff and push yourself. Do something.
Many of us are making in-life settlement. We're settling for less than what we actually deserve. We don't feel good about it, but we make it work in our minds. We'll come up with some kind of excuse to make it all right.
We make excuses. You know, you can't make excuses and be successful at the same time. If you believe it yourself, you see an excuse as a way that you handicap yourself. Don't handicap yourself because you've been trained and you've been allowed to make excuses to justify everything. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once you've lost it, you can never get it back.
You know, it's all about work ethic. It's all about what you choose to do in life, what is important to you.
Good morning, everyone. How you guys doing today?
Morning, Lewis.
Good.
Good morning.
Morning, good morning. Good.
Good morning.
Guys, hope you guys got
Morning.
your up today.
How you doing? How you doing?
Good morning.
Morning, guys. We got a packed house today, so we're gonna make it good today. First, before we
always
get
good.
started, it's always good, right? It's always good. I like to hear that.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Awesome, brother. Well, for sure. Before we get started, I always like to start off with any wins. If you guys want to share any experiences you've had over the weekend or during this last week, I'd love to hear all about it. Anyone want to kind of take the lead on that?
I got an offer accepted. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, Nicola.
Go ahead, Sarah. I think I heard you first.
Yeah, I got an offer accepted. This is my first time doing new constructions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and this is my first veteran client.
A veteran. Wow. So you got a VA loan approved or they
Yes,
oh, wow. That's not easy. That's
Awesome.
not easy in this market. Congratulations.
thank you. It's unlisted. That's why we got it.
Oh yeah. That's what you said it was what?
A new construction.
Oh, that's why
It
you
just
got
got
it?
built.
Oh, it
Yeah.
just got built. Oh,
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Nicola, how about you, sweetheart? What do you got as a win?
So yesterday, my team and I, we facilitated 2 open houses. The win essentially was, I'm sorry for my voice, that this was all the party fun from the open houses yesterday. The win essentially had to do with just the collaboration, gathering everyone. We both had, both locations, we had lenders available, plus some additional help. We had a slew of people come through unrepresented, and some of us are newer on the team. So it's great. It's going to be a great way to segue to building our clientele, building our client list.
Yeah.
But the win was just the motivation. Since the turn of the new year, I think we've just been, oh, the market is womp, 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 and storm and snow and you name it, we've had it. But I think yesterday was a reminder of like the why. Why do we do this? We can come, we can put in the work, we can play hard, we can have fun at this, we can make money and still help people and still change lives. And I think we all got motivated. We all got, oh, this is what it can be about. This is the fun that we can really have. So it was a really, really great win for our team.
Yeah. Motion builds emotion. So the more things you guys do together, the more camaraderie and the more excitement you guys are going to feel. So congratulations on that, Nicola. That's awesome.
Thank you. And we met John. We met a new person to the team. John is awesome. Great energy, great spirit. He came. He was at both locations.
Really? Or is he on the call now?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, if you are.
But a great person to add to our team, meaning like our group, not me. But
yeah,
he said that you told him to join us, Louis.
Absolutely. I hope he can. I hope he could be here.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Let's go ahead and pick up where we left off last week. So when we spoke last, we were talking about a lot of the things that we have to do in order to be successful. We're not just talking about it in real estate, because this will carry on to anything you'll ever do in life. There has to be structure. There has to be a foundation. There's basics that make ordinary people extraordinary. And a lot of people don't realize that. You know, we drive ourselves crazy. We try to find that secret get rich quick scheme or the answer, or we look to our gurus and we say, what's one thing you can tell me to make me successful? And more and more, I think everyone finds out the hard way that there is not one thing that makes you successful. What makes you successful is a constant repetition of the same things that work over and over again. And it's usually the things that you don't like doing. So if you guys have ever been in sports, or if you guys have ever been athletic, or you are athletic, you know that some of the hardest exercises to do, or some of the hardest training regimens to do, are some of the best that will prepare you for anything ahead of you. And the same thing goes with business. The things that we dread the most at times are the things that are going to provide the most for us. Getting uncomfortable, meeting new people, calling people out of the blue, following up, locking yourself away and not being on social media, not being reactive to your text messages, but being proactive to what you want to do that morning, and what you want to do with your life in general that day or that week or that month, is really what's going to make the biggest difference. So we're going to pick up exactly where we left off last week, and we're going to stop after a few points, and we'll discuss. But I really want you guys to be engaged and let me know how you feel about the topic. And if you guys have any suggestions on what is it we're talking about, any wins or anything associated with that. And yeah, we'll play it out like we did last week. I think it was a really good flow. So we'll pick up right where we left off. So let's go ahead and share the screen right now. Hopefully it picks up where we left off. Turn up the video.
Hey, thank you. Hey, thank you for joining Culture Estate.
It's not it.
You want who's successful puts out at least 1 to 3 posts every day. This is what's going on with new buyers. And this is important because what this is going to do is, Facebook Marketplace on Let Go.
Yeah, I think that's where
business that way. You may want to,
All right, we'll pick up right here. Let me just open up the task list that I showed you guys last week, so we can also look at that. Has anyone done any of the things that we spoke about last week? Okay, so these are the lists. These are the items that we were talking about. And I think we left off last week on marketing. And I believe we left off on Facebook, Yelp, Google. I think that's where we kind of left off. So let's continue right there where we were.
pick a mail carrier route around the location where you want to work or around your home and just start sending flyers to that area. The reason why is because you want to send them consistently every month. So once a month, the flyers will go out, hit the same people month over month over month. And don't just send a flyer out with your picture on it. Send a flyer out that's going to have some important information for your clients, such as, what are homes selling for, or some tips on, something that's going on within the real estate community, some way to maybe sell their house quicker, or interest rates climbing, something that's going to catch their attention. Another thing you can do is work on sending email and text messaging blasts over this time. Now, this is good because if you start to compile a list of people that you want to work with, such as everyone in your phone book, you could download that to a spreadsheet. If we can do that, then we can send an email or text message blast to them. So this is something you may want to do during that time. For more information on that, please ask me at a later date. I'll get into that separately. You also want to take this time.
Let me stop right there for a second, guys. So last week I helped Brent, one of our agents in Sarasota. I helped him download all of his contacts out of his phone, and he imported all of his contacts into KV Core all in one shot. So now all he has to do is message everyone that he has a relationship with, which is about 1,000 people. He can message them all in one shot. And as a matter of fact, I even did this last week too. And I messaged everyone in my KV Core last week because a really nice condo just hit the market on the water here in Florida.
I got it.
Yeah, and you did it too?
Yeah. No, I got your message.
Oh, you got the message too? Yeah. I mean, look, it was, I reached, I think 1,000 people. I think I reached in about like 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, it's really easy to do, guys. If you haven't done it yet, that's the first step. If anyone's kind of like lost of what I'm talking about right now, all you have to do is go into your KV Core and you have to just import the contacts. I'll show you real quick how it's done. So in case you guys have never done it before, let me show you that. In KV Core, all you have to do is go to KV Core, and here where it says all lead engine tools, I believe that's where it is. And then you go up here to it says bulk lead import here on the top right. And you can either let them do it or you can do it yourself. I think it's very easy. You guys can figure that part out if you want, but I think it's very easy. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. Has anyone done this? Has anyone been sending out text message or email blasts? I know Tammy said she did.
I do it once in a while when I feel that my pipeline is getting a little drier than I like it to be. So I'll send out a text message and just something super simple. Hey, are you or someone you know looking to buy in Florida? And just blast out a text message. Or I'll create a newsletter every couple months with Florida updates and send that to all of my people in my KV Core, whether they're friends, ex-clients, people that I used to work with or know somehow. If I have your email, you're getting my newsletter, and I continuously build that newsletter mailing list in KV Core. And then every couple of months when I do send out that newsletter, it's new information and new people added. So it does help because every time I do something like that, I do see my volume of people going into my KV Core, whether they're responding or not, is definitely going up. So it does attract some people's attention and get them to click to your website. So it works.
Absolutely. Look, I even
I just want to share this. It do works. Last week when I did it, somebody text me back like just in time. I just got pre-approved. So I was like, are you working with an agent? And she was like, no. So I sent her, over email so we can set up a consultation. But staying in front of your audience on KV Core does work. And I also got a listing appointment for Tuesday.
Exactly. Perfect. I'm still getting messages this morning, and I sent out that email or that text message last week, like an hour ago. This person says, hi, Louis, no interest in condos at this time, but she did give me her email address. So like, this is someone that I know is engaging. And yeah, of course, I got people who said unsubscribe. I got people who said stop. but that's okay because at least I'm weeding out, I'm filtering out my clients. It's okay that you're going to get some people to say that, but keep in mind, you're not going to get in trouble for doing this because the people who you're messaging are either your friends and family, or they're people who somehow found their way to you through one of your landing pages, through one of your marketing ads, or whatever the case may be. So you have permission to message those people, you know, unless you bought that list on a black web somewhere, but I know you guys didn't do that. So don't worry about sending out these messages in bulk, okay? All right, let's continue with what we have next.
And ask for reviews. So by asking for reviews, what this is going to do is it's going to solidify you and legitimize you as a real estate agent when you go and you meet with sellers or buyers for the first time. You can show them what people have been saying about you. And the easiest way to get these leads are by getting people to jump on your Facebook and give you leads there, on Google, on Yelp. There's a couple of different places. Now, Zillow is the gold standard in reviews, but you can only get reviews from actual clients. You can't get them from your family, anyone sharing your IP, or from other real estate agents. So that's why it's such a good thing to get reviews from Zillow, because they are held in high esteem. Now, next thing you can do is you're going to learn how to build squeeze pages.
Okay, let's stop right there for a second, because I know a lot of you are like running and gunning, and you guys are just like going out there and you're trying to get a ton of listings, a ton of buyers, running around like crazy. And then you forget that the most important thing is to always have new people in the pipeline. You always have to have new people, because the minute you sell a house or list a house, you're pretty much going to be out of a job. So you need people to take their place. And the best way to do that, guys, is by having an extensive list of referrals or extensive list of reviews, because I've said this a million times, people don't even go out to dinner without checking reviews. So if you're not sending every single one of your clients a review request on Zillow or on realtor.com or on Facebook, you're wasting that relationship. And I will tell you this much right now. If you wait till the deal closes, it's much higher likelihood that you're not going to get the review. It's better to do it while you have the transaction in place. I think John and I role played this last week, but I can't stress how important that is. And if you guys have never requested a review before, all you have to do is go to your Zillow. I'll show you guys really quickly. Well, maybe not that quickly, but I'll show you guys real quick. I'll try to keep it brief how to do that. All you have to do is go to your Zillow Agent Hub. You should all have one. If you don't have one, then please today, guys, you need to do that. Let's see, I think it's here. Okay, so then you would go to, let's see, edit your profile? I think it's here, or view your info file. Testing, advertising, my ad share, building reports, team, contacts, tasks. I know it's in here somewhere, guys.
If you go to your profile, I think you just passed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's here. So you go to your profile, drop down, go to your profile, and then you go in here to request a review. Here in request a review, what I would do is this, guys. I would get the direct link from down here, copy this link. Okay. I don't like sending it directly from here. I would rather copy the link and send it to them as an email directly from your email, and also from your phone as a text message, because then you got more control. Because when you send it from here, you don't know if maybe that got bounced to their spam, or maybe they didn't see it came from you, so they didn't open it. But if you copy the link and send it from your email and your cell phone, it's a much higher likelihood. But the beauty of that is also, as you send it, you call them and you say, hey, listen, I just sent you a link. Can you click on it real quick? I know that people are funny about clicking on links they get on their phone. But I just want to let you know and reassure you it's from me. Oh, yeah, hold on. Click. Oh, yeah. So it's just a short review. If you wouldn't mind, can you please just fill that out, just how you feel about me and what kind of a job I did for you? It wouldn't take you more than just a few minutes. Oh, okay. And then you tell them, look, I'll just hold on, because on my end, I just want to make sure that it actually confirms, because Zillow is known for holding reviews for some reason. And as soon as you hit submit, I just want to see on my end if we can get the confirmation on.
Not much flipping and grouping.
Okay, so you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, Louis, I have a question. I might have goofed since the beginning, and I built my Google presence up so that Steven Slack Realtor at EXP on Google. when you Google my name, you see all my Google reviews. Is that bad to have them on Google instead of Zillow?
No, absolutely not. Like Google reviews are great as well because Google, especially with eXp Realty, and Steve will be the first one to tell you this. I think a couple other of our agents got the same thing. Sometimes people they look up eXp Realty near me, and when you have a profile on Google, you might show up as the local EXP in that area. So I think Steve even got a few.
That's how I show up.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry?
people call me and they think I'm the broker in the area,
Yeah, they
which is
think you're
kind
the
of funny
broker.
sometimes.
Yeah. Would you mind sharing your Google business? Well, actually, you know what? Let me put you on the spot and I'll look it up.
Sure.
I'll look it up here.
Yeah, and there was a company, I like Googled how to do it and I reached out to a company. I can see if I can find out that company, but I think I paid like $119 and they helped boost my SEO so that I pop up as soon as you type in Steven Slack or eXp Realty Miami.
Yeah. Guys, by the way, this is what your profile should look like. Your profile should have a picture, somewhat recent. So you guys can't say anything because I am bald in this picture, so it's recent. If you have team members, have your team members jump on with you, okay? Because then all their sales and all their reviews go together and you guys can use it together. So when they go on a listing appointment or you go on a listing appointment, you guys look like you're more of a team instead of like individuals running around. The other thing too is that you make sure that your rating is always good. Keep a good rating. I think we have a pretty decent rating here, and we have 171 reviews, guys, which is amazing. You should have a good bio. You should have, if you have a lender, please have a lender on there as well. If you guys are doing some co-marketing, now your video profile, you guys can actually insert a video profile. So take the time to actually make a video profile about yourself. All your recent sales and your recent listings are probably going to auto-generate in there. So that's good. Just make sure when you look here on the right-hand side that all these things are checked off. Okay. You don't want a silhouette of a person. You don't want an empty page, especially on Zillow, because people will judge you based on that. Okay. So make sure it's all done right. Now let me go to eXp Realty, Miami, Florida. Let's see what comes up. We got.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Absolutely.
So if you're a newer agent and you don't have that that portfolio, I mean, should you wait to do that?
Absolutely not, because as a new agent, you still have a bio. You might have been in car sales, you might have been in healthcare, you might have been in something else previously. But what that means is that now you're just going to have to get creative and use the skills that you learned at that career and say how you brought it into the real estate business. Or you can use your team leaders or your brokers' history combined with yours, saying I'm part of a team that has over X amount of years in the industry. We specialize in X, Y, and Z. Collectively, we've done X, Y, and Z transactions this year. We have over 1,000 agents in the state of New Jersey. Like whatever it is stats you want to use, you can use as long as they're relevant to the company that you're with. You don't have to make anything up. You just have to get creative, because when you're new, it's okay to be new. And you're not going to put in your bio, hey guys, I'm brand new, and hopefully you give me some business because I got to make the bills. You don't put that. You get real creative about what you have. You get it?
Right. Absolutely.
Good. So right now, as I look up eXp Realty in Miami, Florida, I come up with Adam Kurz, he shows up first because I'll be honest with you guys, the Kurz group is a couple hundred agents. But look, if I look just 3 spaces down, I've got Steven Slack right here, eXp Realty. And maybe I'm fond to guys named Steven, and I'm like, oh wait, you know what? I like the name Steven. Let me click on this one. So he shows up, and this is really good, bud. I like this. You don't show up obviously as the only one, but as you can see, people won't really know the difference because they're looking up eXp Realty, and maybe he's the closest one to them. Because look, his address, and I don't want to dox you, bud, but he's right here on Biscayne Boulevard. So maybe someone else lives in that area, downtown Miami, and they want an office nearby downtown Miami. So he's probably going to be the closest one, because look, this guy, even though he shows up first, he doesn't have an address. This one here has like half an address. This one here is in Miami Beach, and now Miami Beach is Miami Beach is Miami Beach. I don't know. You could say good or bad things about it, but Biscayne Boulevard here, this is more like the locals in the business area. So that's good that you kind of claim this territory. So now if I click on it, I see he's got 2 Google reviews. So I'm not too sure what you're bragging about. You need some more. Everybody go and review Steve. I'll put his link in the chat. Everyone go in there and give him a quick review, because you can do that on Google.
Thank you.
No problem. Let me see. Put it in the chat. Give this guy a quick review, guys, whatever it is. And you don't have to lie. You can say he's an outstanding agent. I work with the guy. He's always he's always attentive to learning more and being in meeting, whatever you guys want to write. It's fine. So, okay. So now let's take a look at his pictures. So let me see. I want to see more photos. Oh, nice, man. Is that the view from your apartment?
No, that was one of the apartments I was showing.
That's gorgeous.
I
man.
should post a view from my apartment though.
You're gonna sell me a condo one of these years, man. I miss having a condo in Miami. It was like one of the things that I really did love. I love Miami, but I also hate Miami. Like
it's a different beast. That's actually the condo I just sold.
I love Miami for like a few days at a time. But living,
it's getting packed down here. Every time you look at the traffic to go on a listing, it's just red everywhere.
Yeah, I had a lady tell me that she was paying $2,100 right around the corner from you, and now they raised the rent to $3,700.
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous for re-signing. I'm gonna probably talk to my landlord to see if I can work out a deal where I could just buy the place from him.
That would be nice. That would be really nice.
Yeah, because I'm not paying $4,000 for rent.
So Greg Long says, we had a wonderful experience with Steven as our realtor. Being from out of state, we were not sure of the market in Miami or how to navigate it. Steven was helpful from day one. He sent available property info to us daily, even though we were over a year away from when we would seriously start looking. So I love reviews like this, man. I love reviews. It shows how much you are dedicated to your clients. So I really like this, man. So tell us, why do you think this is good? Give us your strategy on this. I'm sorry for taking up all the time.
No, I just thought it was good because obviously Google's the first place that everybody goes. I saw that Zillow was kind of getting a bad rap when I first started getting into the real estate game. And I just figured, let me build my confidence and my presence up on Google. It was a little bit freer, so to speak, as far as what I could add. I could add photos, I could add videos when I'm out and about, and just drive traffic to my Google and try and be a little different than everybody else on Zillow, because there's, I think, 50,000 agents in Miami on Zillow. I'm not going to have the volume or the reviews to compete with some of those people on Zillow. And I noticed that there was minimal people on Google that actually built that profile up. And it's a little bit easier if you do add photos and spend some time on it once a week, maybe a half hour, whatever you got in your photo album from that week. It definitely works. And like I said, I just started this maybe a month or two ago. So it's really, starting to come up. Federico is my first client and he was a friend. And that was like the first thing I did it. And then I really just started ramping it up with photos a few weeks and maybe a month ago. So I'm planning on doing a lot more on here and trying to add as much, photos, videos as I can and get as many reviews as I can. And it's also nice because you can share this link with people directly to Google. It just kind of differentiates myself from everyone else on Zillow. And that's why I like
it. Good. All right. Just one thing I will tell you guys is that there will be a time from time to time that you'll get a really negative review. Like we got, I think, a 1-star review. Everyone who puts a 1-star review, they always start their message with, if I could leave no stars, like I would. We've literally gotten 1-star reviews that we've had to dispute with Google because those people were upset they didn't get a house. And they'd go and review us because they didn't get a house that they lost a bid on, and they weren't even our clients. So you got to be careful, because along with being out there and expecting reviews, you could get the occasional bad review. So don't freak out if that happens. You can dispute them. And if you can prove that they're not legitimate, you can obviously get rid of them. All right. Let's continue. Good job, man. Thank you, Steve, for that. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
websites and landing pages through Conversion. Conversion is our CRM that's going to help you manage all your clients. Now, by building these pages, you'll be able to put these out on Facebook and also on Google, and you're going to be able to get a lot of hits that way. People are going to start to find you throughout these landing pages and squeeze pages. Now, the way they work is obviously for a later date for us to get into a discussion, but they do work. So please take the time to learn how they operate on Conversion. Now, another way you can get business is by simply just giving away 5 business cards every day. Now, 5 business cards is not a lot. If you make it a rule to put 5 business cards in your pocket every single day and you give them out, that's 150 business cards you're giving out a month. And now that's the tremendous amount of business cards you give out every year. Sooner or later, those people that you're handing out your business cards to will call you. So get in the habit of doing that as well. And then number 9, work on your conversion drip campaigns. Drip campaigns are the best way to follow up with your clients, other than making the phone call yourself. There's nothing that's going to compare to that. But if you don't have infinite amount of time or infinite amount of help to make all these personalized follow-up calls, you may want to start working on drip campaigns. Now, drip campaigns are the program that you're going to work on in your conversion that's going to automate all the text messages and emails that people are going to start receiving from you automatically. Now, once people start getting these things, they are going to start replying to you, and you're going to start automatically working with these people because they think you're communicating with them one-on-one when it's actually the system doing it. So this is really important to do. Now, once we're done with our marketing, then we also want to work on prospecting. As you can see on Monday, I have prospecting at 6, but every other day during the week, I have prospecting at 9 a.m. Reason is because the 2 best times to call for prospecting are in the mornings and after 5 p.m. So since Mondays we have mastermind, so I want you guys to do your prospecting later on that afternoon. So Monday afternoons, you're going to prospect at 6 p.m. Now, what does prospecting actually mean, or what is it? Well, the best way and the most efficient way to do prospecting, in my opinion, and what we've come to find, is that telephone prospecting is the best bang for your buck. But sometimes there may be an opportunity for you to go door knocking around an area that you really want to work in. So that's also considered prospecting as well. Whenever you're meeting new clients, you definitely want to maximize your time well spent. Whenever you're prospecting, you're going to want to get in front of as many people as possible at once. So if we're doing telephone prospecting, we're going to use our Mojo system. That way we can call a ton of people at once. Now, the Mojo system allows you to call 3 people at one time, so you can make up to 100 phone calls an hour. The people we're going to be targeting, it's up to you. We're going to be calling expireds. We're going to call for sale by owners. We can call distressed sellers if you're into getting investment properties. You can prospect your farm, and you can tell them about your just solds in the area. You can tell them about your just listeds. Or like I mentioned earlier, you can go door knocking. So that's one way you can do it. Okay.
All right, let me stop right there. So one of the things I mentioned here was prospecting, and prospecting is hands down the most, how would I say, the most money earning activity any of us can do. We don't need to spend money doing it. I know I told you guys about, dialers that can help you maximize your time, and you can work your way into that. But I will tell you this much right now. You can just simply pick up the phone and call one person at a time. There is nothing wrong with that. Will it take you much longer? Yes, absolutely. And you can really narrow your time down by calling the right people. But if you want one day to kind of really step up your game and move up to the next level, you want to make sure that the people you're going to be calling, obviously you're allowed to call them. You can't just pick up the phone and start dialing people at random that you do not know. You got to make sure that they're either subscribed to your communications, or that they're not on a do not call list. All right. So if you guys are not sure, well, you got to, wherever you're getting that data from, you got to make sure that that data is scrubbed against any B and C lists. Okay. Now that could get you in a lot of trouble if you don't do that. So that's rule number 1. Once you've gotten over that hurdle, making phone calls every single working day is the most important thing any of us can do. I don't think I could just stay on this call for the next 30 minutes and just repeat that over and over and over again. And it probably would be the most important thing that you guys will ever pull out of any meeting anywhere. All right. So guys, prospecting doesn't have to be just on the phone. Some of us are not phone people. I get it. There's people on this call who have literally told me, I hate the phones. Okay. You hate the phones. I get it. I used to hate the phones too. I learned to love it, but some of us will never love it. So do what you do love, as long as that entails meeting new people or continuing conversations with people who can possibly help us in our business. Now, it shouldn't be the same 5 people every day because they're gonna literally block you or put a restraining order on you. It should always be different people. So if you feel like, hey, I'm a better in-person type of guy or girl, then go to Home Depot every day and, you know, find things that you need to buy. So that way you can communicate with people in Home Depot. Why? Because likelihood of people in Home Depot owning homes are pretty high, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, go to IKEA. Maybe people at IKEA, likelihood of them owning a home or wanting to own a home, probably pretty high. You know, go to places where people buy things for their house and socialize with those people there. You don't have to literally wait for a networking event, a buyer seminar, an open house. You could literally every morning go to a different place where people that own homes go. You can go to the landscaping place. You can go to, you can even go to the mall, certain stores in the mall. You can go different places if you're not a phone person. I just never want to hear anyone make excuses and say, I don't have phone numbers. I'm not good on the phones. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to hear any of that, because really at the end of the day, all it really comes down to is you having conversations. Now, what does a conversation in person look like as opposed to on the phone? Because on the phone, it's very much kind of, I would say, a repetitive conversation. You start off, hi, Jim, yes. Oh, hi, Jim, this is Lewis. I was just calling to find out, have you ever considered selling your property by any chance? Maybe that's the way you start a conversation on the phone. But in person, you don't have to start a conversation like that. You can start a conversation in person very naturally. You can go up to someone and say, hey, I love those sneakers. I used to have those sneakers when I was a kid. Oh, cool, man. I'm like, where'd you get them? Oh, I got them at the Nike store down the street. Awesome, man. How much did you pay? Oh, they were only like $50.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, something exactly like that. And then you break into that and you just say, hey, listen, what do you do for a living? I'm just curious that you're here at the mall at 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, you know what? I'm self-employed. I have a landscaping business and we do, you know, we service all these condominium complexes. Oh man, that's amazing, brother. And then they're probably gonna say, well, what do you do? Or maybe you share with them, oh, really? That's awesome, man. I'm in real estate too. So we're kind of like in that same business. Maybe I can refer your business. You have any cards? Yeah, I have some cards. Or here, this is my information. And then, oh, here, if you wouldn't mind, take my information if you know anyone is looking to buy or sell a house. That is all you need to do. So what I'm trying to tell you is, don't try to force something that's not natural to you. If you want to just be around more people and you want to do it in person, go right ahead. I'm telling you, it's probably even better. I'm guaranteeing you, it's probably even better than making phone calls all the time. If you do that, try that for just 1 week. Take my challenge. Take this as a challenge. Try it for 1 week straight. Go somewhere every morning where people own homes. Spark up 3 conversations in each place every morning, just 3. And then at the end of the week or next week when we speak again, let me know how that worked out for you. I guarantee you that at least, I would say 5 to 10% of the people you talk to will end up calling you, because in person has a much higher return on investment than over the phone or in the mail or pay-per-click or whatever the other ways of getting business are. Making the relationships, guys, putting face to a name, actual interactions with people, will never be able to replicate that with anything else. So has anyone found success with that?
Yes. I didn't get a chance to say it earlier, but this weekend, actually Saturday at the Cheesecake Factory, I purposely snuck my husband to lunch, and I targeted everybody that I saw in a business suit. And all my tagline is, excuse me for interrupting your meal. I just felt like I should give you my card. I don't know if I'm supposed to help you or you're supposed to help me. But in any event, think about it and let me know.
Mm-hmm.
All 6 of them called me back by 9 o'clock Saturday.
Really?
Got 3 brokers and 2 that have multi-million-dollar houses for sale.
Get out of here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Louis, someone said they waiting. They waiting to
Damn.
come in. Louis.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody's in the waiting room?
Yes.
Really?
And that's all I said. I don't know what it is, but I handed them my business card. I said, either you're going to help me or I'm going to help you. I don't know which one it is, but don't let me know right now. Just take the card and get back to me.
Love
That
it.
was it.
Congratulations, Belinda.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Don't know what I'm going to do with the mortgage brokers yet, but I do have an idea as to get them to help sponsor my lunch and learn.
That's great. That's great. I don't see anyone in the waiting room, so I'm sorry. I don't know. Who's waiting?
Gina, let me see if she in the right one.
She's probably in the Google one, because a lot of times people go to the Google one thinking it's a Google Hangout meeting, but tell her to click on the link that says Zoom.
All right, I'm gonna send it to her.
No problem. All right, great story.
So also on that note, like I have been getting paid leads from KV Core since I started. I don't know if I just suck on the phone or people are just not, confident in or trustworthy, I guess, over the phone. But all of the closings and deals that I have done have been through people that I've met in person, whether it's at the beach, at the bar, friends of a friend. I have not converted somebody that I got off the internet and met with them and showed a property, and then they came back and said, yeah, let's put in an offer. I just have not had luck that way. So all of the people that I've been surrounding my so far have been meet and greets out in the street or face to face. Hey, take my card, here's my website, let me get your phone number, I'll text you. That's the most important, I think. And you can spend as much money as you want. There's no comparison from meeting somebody over the computer versus, hey, we had a beer, or that kid was at the same place as I was, or he was enjoying the beach the same day as my family was. I think that's the most impressionable.
I totally agree. Listen, I'll tell you guys right now, since the pandemic, I've had probably 90% of my meetings have been over a Zoom, and I suck at Zoom. I'm horrible. Like I really cannot build that engagement. Maybe it's everybody, I don't know, maybe I'm just putting myself down. I can't build that trust, and we don't see each other eye to eye. But put me in front of someone and it's a whole different scenario. I feel like I'm so much better in person when I meet someone in person. I can engage with them, we can see each other, we can go lock eye to eye. But on Zoom, I lose that. So we put ourselves at a disadvantage if we don't at least try in person, guys. At least try. See how that works out.
I'm gonna help Lewis out. Lewis, you got me on Zoom.
I did.
So don't ever forget that. It was the person that I saw on YouTube was the exact same person that came to me on a Zoom call. And I also lead with that to say that my video did go over 13,000. And just yesterday, I got another text message from somebody in California looking to transition to Georgia. And all they're telling me is that they were able to relate to me on the video and that they prefer to work with me because I didn't come across as whoever else comes across, I don't know, on YouTube. I don't watch all the videos. I don't size up competition. But that's all they want. So the people that's coming to me off the video, they already know me. So it's so much easier to converse with them when I get them on a call and on Zoom. It's already like we already know each other because they feel that they know me.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
I agree with Belinda. When I also met Lewis over YouTube and then Zoom, and then I was so happy to meet him in person. He's always been real.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, guys. You guys are the best.
I agree with them too. I saw you watching you on Instagram, teaching your brokerage, and I just followed you. And when you went to EXP, I reached out to you. So
thank you. Well, you guys are the real ones. We couldn't have done it unless it was together. If not, I'd just be talking to a camera and it'd be me and a camera in a room. Let's continue with the lesson plan here. Let me see if I can share my screen again.
He's blushing, guys. He's blushing.
Yeah,
you'll let him go.
I don't want my ego to get fed too much in the morning. I'll wait till after. I feed the ego in the evening instead. All right, let's continue.
Next important task that you need to work on your calendar is your follow-ups. Now, you can't have prospecting without follow-ups. Now, what are follow-ups? Follow-ups are probably more important than actually making the phone calls initially yourself. Follow-ups are done in a manner where you're going to target people who you already called and they seem interested, but they're just not ready. So what you do is you will take that person's information and write it down, put it in your calendar. So at a later date, you can follow up with them and see if they're ready and willing at that time. So this is important to do because in the beginning, you're not going to have that many follow-ups, but in the future, a few weeks down the line and a few months down the line, most of your listings are going to come from people you followed up with. So always make sure to follow up with people. And the more you call them, the more of a relationship you're going to start with them, and the more they're going to trust you. So make sure you also do your follow-ups. This is really important.
Okay, guys, follow up. That's the name of the game. If you recall all of Grant's videos, everything he would ever say at the end of the day was, you need to follow up with people, because the sale really is never made on the first call. It's usually made, and believe this or not, majority of the sales are made after the 6th contact with that person, whether it's over the phone, in person, via text, via email, however it is. There usually isn't anything that's transferred of value until after 6 contacts. So once you start meeting people that you want to do business with, and people that you think are good for you to surround yourself with in the future, so you guys can work together, well, those people, they can't just sit dormant in your contact list. They can't just be in your email inbox from 2 months ago. You have to make a list of these people, keep them somewhere. I would suggest KV Core. If not, you want to keep a spreadsheet, or you want to use some other CRM that you like using, but keep them somewhere where you get a chance to see them visually. But even better, if you can somehow put them into a system that reminds you that you haven't spoken to this person in a couple of weeks or in a couple of months, you need to use that. KV Core allows you to do that. Every time you get you make a contact, you can go into that person's contact, and you can put a setting in it that says, remind me to contact this person in 2 weeks. Now, what you do every day, you open up your KV Core, you look at, who do I need to contact today? And then all the people that you haven't contacted in the last couple of weeks, they pop up because you put a reminder, contact this person, this person, this person, this person, and you become very systematic about it. That's the key word here, guys, is systemize your business, because if not, you're just running it nilly-willy, whatever you call it. It's not going to work, because we don't become successful. We don't make money by chance. You know, we might once in a while get lucky, but we can create our luck by creating systems. And the more you do this, the more you in and out every day, you do this, it's just a recipe for success. Do this for 30 days and your entire business will change, guys. I'm not making it up. I'm not telling you guys to do something that I haven't done myself and if it doesn't work. I guarantee you, try this for 30 days. Follow-up is part of your daily business structure. So we have the time of day that we meet new people, right? That's invaluable. Meeting new people is part of our formula. But then after we meet new people, then we have to spend at least an hour calling and messaging and emailing people that we've already met. I suggest calling. That's probably the strongest thing you can do outside of being in person. So if you meet someone in person, you have your list of 100 people you've met in person. Then after you've done your new meetings for that day, then you spend an hour just calling the people you've met in the past. Even if you're not calling them for business per se, just call them and say, hey, listen, I just want to give you a call, see how you're doing. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we spoke last. I want to see, maybe you want to get together for a cup of coffee one of these days, you know, on me. Or, hey, I was just calling you to let you know, I'm not sure if you're in the area today, but there's a huge backup on I-95. Hope you're not heading in this direction. Whatever it is, you know, whatever it is that, you know, you want to spark up conversation for, or you maybe just want to talk about the weather or something, or maybe a listing that just hit the market, you know, whatever. You guys come up with that part. I can't tell you what to write people about. But the strongest thing is having that structure. There's no such thing as having only one piece of the puzzle. You have to have the whole puzzle. You have to have new contacts and follow-ups. Follow-ups are even more important. So never slack on the follow-ups, okay? That you can't, if you're not successful right now in prospecting, it's probably because you don't have the follow-up part in place yet. Anyone agree with that?
Yes.
Good.
100% agree. Could we actually maybe do a meeting in the future at one point on how to set up strategically, you know, our follow-ups and our processes? Because I feel like I'm a dog chasing cars sometimes when I make calls, and I do the 10 calls that KV Core pops up, and I call whoever's looking on my website for the past 60 days. And then I'm just like calling random people in KV Core, and eventually I will get something out of those calls, and then I stop and then I have an action. But I'd like to systematically set up like 3 days a week where I'm hour calls, and no matter what else is going in my schedule, these calls are getting done to prospect. Because I definitely see a fluctuation in my pipeline. Like 2 weeks ago, I had nothing in my pipeline. I'm lucky to have, a couple of million in buyers potentially, but I would like to continuously fill that pipeline so I'm not sitting with zero at any point.
Yeah. Okay.
Steven, what I do is when you go into your KV Core, right? I don't know how many people you have in there, but you can call, like I'm going through my whole KV Core list. I had like over 1,000, but I took out probably about 400. And what I do every day is I call 25 people. So when you go to your smart CRM and you see all your leads, you can put in there if you want to call 10, 25, 100, 150. So each day I'm on a new page and I make sure I spend an hour calling 25 people through KV Core, and then I do an hour with Mojo Circle Prospecting. And I do that daily. And from Circle Prospecting, I add those people into KV Core so I can stay in contact with them. So, like Louis saying, creating a system and doing it daily is the key. And KV Core is awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know about that KV Core. Thank you for that tip. And I definitely have to get some of Circle Prospecting kind of, process going as well, because I'm only calling off of KV Core right now.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Steve, so I think one thing that might be missing is if you're saying that you're contacting people as follow-ups, but it gets cold or uncomfortable, is that correct? Or it's like not really like the conversation is not too warm, is that correct?
Yeah, I wouldn't even call them follow-ups. I call people, whoever's in my KV Core, top 10 people in the morning. I call through them when I have calls to make. And I feel like I just get lost in the sauce. And if I speak to somebody, I'm like at the point where I'm writing them down on a piece of paper and keeping paper notes on the side of like my active prospects for the week. I feel like I have maybe too many people in my KV Core. I think I have over 5,000 people. So I probably need to clean that up and really start identifying who's hot, who's cold, who's lukewarm in my KV Core. That's probably a first starting point.
Well, KV Core does that for you. If you just go there and you and you list them, you categorize them by star rating or last time they visited your site, that's a good way to start.
Okay.
And also, Steve, instead of writing on sticky notes, you can actually write notes in KV Core based on that conversation you had with the client. So what I do is I will add a note based on that conversation and create a task when I need to follow up with them. So you can do all in KV Core. You don't need to write.
I started doing that.
Okay.
Started doing that, and that's helpful. I also pin the notes to the top, so every time I go to that contact, I can remember the last conversation, or it like refreshes my memory. So I definitely have to spend more time on organizing myself within that.
Yeah. One other thing I want to tell you guys is that when you are contacting these people, try, obviously there's a million things that you're going to have to remember, but try to build actual conversations and not just around business. Try to talk to them about what's going on in their life. Ask them, hey man, what do you got planned for today? How was your weekend? How are the kids? You guys got anything exciting? Any vacations coming up? And just try to ask them about that as much as possible. I had an old man once who had, he used to collect old cars. And all I did when I would call him is I would ask him about his cars. And then once in a while, I would say, hey, you ready to sell that house yet? And then he would say, yeah, you know what, come over and come check it out. But first I would just talk to him about his cars. Because the first time I ever met with him, I went in his backyard and he had all these classic cars. And I just spent most of my time just talking to him about his passion, not about what I wanted. So keep in mind, a lot of times it's put aside what it is that you want and be sincerely interested in the person. Don't be fake sincere, be real sincere. So if you find something that you really truly find interesting about that person, then dig on that. But if you find out something about the person that you really don't understand, don't know or care about, then leave that part alone. Keep digging until you find something that you both maybe have a mutual liking to. Okay. If you have nothing in common, conversation gets weird and awkward, maybe not the right client for you. So don't feel bad. There's a lot of them out there. All right.
I have to agree with you, Louis, 100%. When you build that connection, they become more loyal to you too.
Oh yeah, I agree for sure. we've got a few minutes left, so let's see if we can tackle one more topic, and then we'll let you guys go.
So the other thing that I have down now for the rest of the week is role play. Now, role playing is equivalent to someone that's an athlete and wants to practice before they go out to the big game. So the same thing with you. You don't want to just practice when you're on the phone with a potential client, because you may lose that client for a lack of knowledge and not knowing what to say. So what's important to do is spend at least 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week. Even once you've already felt comfortable on the phone, you keep doing it, because the other person is going to keep you sharp, and the other person may give you circumstances that you haven't encountered yet. So number one, what you want to do is practice listening appointments, because when you're going on a listening appointment, it's nerve-wracking, especially for the first time. Practice that as much as possible with a partner. You also want to practice cold call prospecting, talking to for sale by owners, talking to pre-foreclosure people, talking to expired. So these are things that you need to practice with someone else in the mirror, or just record yourself and listen to yourself and watch yourself and make improvements from there. The other thing you can practice is also buyer scenarios. There's a lot of instances where you're going to work with buyers who are not ready to buy, or maybe they are ready to buy, but they keep making excuses. It's your job to work with these people, have dialogues with them. And sometimes maybe the person is not ready to buy, so you don't work with them, but you need to learn how to ask the proper questions to identify that. So definitely work buyer scenarios as well. Okay, that's why role play is so important. Now, once you've role played, then you can jump right into your prospecting, then your follow-up.
All right. Who thinks that role playing is weird? I used to think role playing was weird. And I used to think that, like, who role plays? Like, that's so, I don't know, right? But I didn't realize how important it was until I was flopping and groping all over my phone calls, and I had no idea what to tell people, either in person or on the phones. So I used to get the same rebuttals all the time, and I'm like, like. And then we got this this trainer. His name was Tom, who came and gave us training on just dialogue. I'm like, really, just dialogue? And then you've got guys like Mike Ferry and his son
Tom Ferry.
Yeah, Mike.
He's a
and Tom Ferry.
beast.
Yeah, these guys are
Yeah.
animals, and they were the first
Yeah.
people that I ever heard. Mike Ferry is his father, who I heard role play, and then even Mike Ferry said, like, he used to role play by himself because nobody would want to role play with him in the corner of his office, and then everyone would look at him like he had two heads. But he was a rock star, and he created other rock stars. And then look at his son, another rock star. And I just said, you know what? All these people who are somebody, they do it. And I thought about it. I'm like, the analogy with the sports player who doesn't practice and just show up on the field or show up to the game, they're going to get injured because they didn't practice. Or number two, they're not going to be their best version of themselves because they haven't gone over the drills. So for us, if we want to be successful at in-person conversations, if we want to get successful at making phone calls, or we just want to get successful at anything, then we need to practice. I literally joined a speaking club, not because I don't know how to speak. Everyone knows how to speak, but I want to be better at speaking in person. I want to be better at presenting in person. I want to be better with, maybe I say something all the time that's repetitive. Maybe my friends and family are so used to it that they desensitize and they don't tell me anything. But if I'm in a club of people whose job it is to pick out things that I'm doing wrong or saying wrong, then I'm probably going to get better. So if you guys aren't getting the backing, or if you guys are not getting the support from people around you, join a club. We've got Toastmasters. There's other ones. There's I forget the name of the other one I belong to as well. Toastmasters is great. There's a Toastmasters chapter everywhere. So you guys can go to their website, and it's like $14 a year to be a member or something stupid cheap. It's really, really cheap. Yeah, and so if you guys want to join a local speaking club, you can do that. There's also groups inside of our EXP workplace that you can join that are just role-playing groups. So if you can't find someone in your sphere, in your team, in your area that role play with you, go to the role play group inside workplace and just ask to see who's available, and do it, guys. I'm telling you, really do it. But before you do it, make sure you have a list of the rebuttals that you have trouble with. What's your commission? Who can tell me what their commission is? How long you been in the business? If you've been in the business 1 year, are you comfortable with answering that question? How many transactions did you do? Maybe you haven't done any yet. How are you going to answer that? If you don't know the answers to the most uncomfortable questions, you're probably telling yourself you don't want to put yourselves in that position. But if you've answered that question 100 times, then you're more comfortable being in those positions. So maybe you're not getting those opportunities because you're not prepared. Remember, guys, you know, good things happen or opportunities happen when you're prepared, okay? Not when you're not prepared, you know? So with that being said, does anyone want to add anything? Because we're just about to finish up. We have anyone? Anyone?
Hi, Luis. I want to introduce my friend Maria Belen. She's in the call. She's
Maria.
in the healthcare system, but now she's in real estate school. She's been following my journey for a while, and I'm very excited for her to get started. She just needs to go take the test.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, well, you got the right person to be following, Maria. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning. Yes, yes. I know Ivania for many years, and actually, I see her. She's for me, it's like a mentor because she conquers everything she puts on her mind. So it's for me, it's a mentor. Thank you, Ivania, for the invitation. I really like today's meeting. It was very helpful.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you.
Thank you. So happy to have you.
Good, good, good. Anyone else?
Yes, Luis, it's John here.
How you doing, brother?
Hi, how are you?
Doing amazing.
Yes, I just wanted to thank Sophie and Nicola. Yesterday, I met them at the open house and the two open houses that were going on, and it was a complete pleasure to meet both of them. And I look forward to getting to know them more, and they're really very passionate and excited about what they do, and I want that to rub on me. So yeah.
Yeah, you met the right ladies. They're experienced and they know what they're doing. So yeah, good meeting then. I'm glad you went.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you helping John out.
John, it's a pleasure.
What kind of parties you guys have over there, Nicola? Sounds like you guys went ham.
You know, John missed it, but before we got here, we did a video just showing the house, and the singing realtor joined us, so he sang for us. And then we did a TikTok, what's that new thing called, the drop?
I don't know. I'm old. I have no idea. Maybe someone who's a millennial here or a Gen Zer can tell us what
it was fun. We had a good time.
Good. I'll tell you about cartoons. I'll tell you about what's going on in kids' world, but I don't even know what's going on in the adult world. All right, good. Anyone else? All right, well, that's the meeting for today, guys. I just want to close out with letting everyone know, if anyone is new here and they're just testing the waters and they want to find out more about our group and how to work with us, I can easily be reached at Luis, Luis, @culture.estate if you guys want to send me an email. Also, this video will be added to our playlist on YouTube. So if you guys have not seen or been able to see the other ones in the past, you can always go back and check out the catalog we're building. That'll be on our YouTube page. I'll leave it in the chat if anyone's interested. And lastly, I think, yeah, we have a good number of people here. Lastly, if you guys have anyone that you think might be interested in joining you and your organization, please invite them to these Monday morning meetings. They're very important, especially for them to get a sense of what our culture looks like, because we are virtual, and a lot of times people are like, you lose that human connection, and I do agree that there is something lost, but even though we're not together, it feels like we are together. So I thank all you guys for that. So I appreciate that very, very much. All right, so let's go ahead and close out with our prayer. Dear Lord, Father, we thank you so much, Father, for all the blessings that we have in our life, Father. We thank you for allowing us to have these meetings, Father, and allow the people that have been joining us and the new people as well, Father, to be a part of this. Father, only you know what we're building, and only with your help we can build it, Father. And the only thing we do is we ask you, Father, to help us build it so we can glorify your name and help the lives of those around us and the people who need it the most. Father, we ask you to keep us safe during this week when we're out there and providing for our families, Father. We ask you to help us continue learning. Aside from these meetings, Father, we know that every day is a lesson, and we have to learn from those lessons, whether they're good or bad. Father, we also pray for any individual who needs it and their families, and anyone who couldn't make it to this call today. Father, we ask you to keep them healthy. Until we see each other next week, in Jesus' name we pray, amen. Thank you, everyone, and have an amazing day, amazing week.
Thank you.
Have a great week, guys.
Bye. Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.